this is going to be a bit of a rant, and the target is to people who call themselves doctors, medical doctors, not academic doctors, but medical doctors. The AMA, and this is June 14th, 2018, and last week the AMA had a convention and spent a huge amount of time bashing guns and people who own guns and declaring the epidemic of gun deaths and calling it a public health hazard. Man, do you know what they call somebody who graduated in the bottom half of their class in medical school? Doctor. So half of that group were stupid in the first place. They talk about this idea that we must be able to intervene in someone's life to determine if they are capable, in the doctor's opinion, of possessing and carrying a firearm. This is not a vector for disease. This doesn't get injected into your body. The thing that comes out of here that goes into someone's body should. The exception is suicide by firearm, and I'll talk about that in a minute. This is not a disease. I am not a vector for disease, and I am absolutely offended by doctors calling me that. There are things that I could call them. Let's talk about the top 10 causes of death in America. So in order of priority, and by the way, these top 10 equate to 50% of all deaths in the United States. What makes the top on the list? You guessed it, heart disease. What's number 2? Cancer. What's number 3? Chronic lower respiratory disease. Those are the top 3. The next is accidents. Number 4 is accidents of all types. 5 is stroke, right? So we're talking about 3 of those 5, 4 of those 5 being related to some kind of disease of the body. Accidents are stupidity, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong thing. Accidents are not a disease, right? Alzheimer's is number 6. Alzheimer's. Number 7, diabetes. Number 8, the flu and pneumonia. Get your flu shot, get your pneumonia shot. And if you're an anti-vaxxer, sucks to be you. Number 9 is kidney disease. Kidney disease. And number 10 is suicide. Now, let's talk about suicide. The top 2 causes for suicide are suffocation, hanging, whatever, and suicide by firearm. There are about 60% or so, 70% of deaths by firearm are suicide. So it does make sense that if there are common sense ways to work together to address deaths by suicide, use in a firearm, that I'm willing to have that conversation. I am not willing to have a conversation that says remove all guns. I am not willing to have a conversation that says we're going to do anything, pass any law, pass any red flag law, pass anything that says somebody can come take my guns because they think I'm going to be suicidal. Right? That's a dead on arrival conversation with me. Now, there are plenty of collaborations now going on across the country between gun owners, firing rangers, even the NRA, and people who are trying to reduce the number of suicides in this country. Right? So let's have those conversations take place. Most of those, almost all of those conversations do not result in draconian legislation that goes and confiscates someone's firearm. Now, you go do your own research on that. My point is that suicide is a bad thing. I personally don't care, right? However, I'm a firearm owner, I'm a gun owner, and I carry. And if I can help reduce that, I will. But I will never support involuntary confiscation because some third party without due process wants to come and remove firearms. So I'll come back to my original comment. Firearms are not a disease. They should not be treated as a disease. A behavior might. Things like accidents, that's not a disease, that's stupidity, right? Influenza, flu, and pneumonia are diseases. But a lot of people get that because they feel they don't need to or don't want to take their shots, their immunizations, right? I wonder how much that would reduce if they did that. So to you doctors out there, you continue to have this conversation to try to characterize the firearm and me as a disease and a disease-carrying vector in this country. Fuck you. As always. Thanks for watching. Carry on.